flippin' Hyuga. Which means he's got the freaking Byakugan or Jogan of my choice. I'm gonna go Byakugan this time. He's gonna have red hair, and he doesn't have the Hyuga eyes. He has blue eyes. And this is in the normal timeline. One day he's walking around the village with his hands in his pocket, wearing a hoodie, going, just a normal day in this village. I don't care. But then blood splattered on his hair and his face. He goes, damn it, how did I get blood on my face? He turns and sees the Konoha 11, well 12 actually, beating the shit out of Naruto. He says, what the fuck is happening there? Oh yeah, he's also a Genin. I just skipped the graduation exam. He's a Genin with red hair. He's got like that nice spiky Naruto hair. He's pretty strong. He's really strong. I'm just gonna make him like a super strong Joni. Super mega badass. He's got water style, lightning style, fire style, wind style. Screw, he doesn't have wind style. He sees them beating the out of him. Then they look at him and he goes, I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't see. Psych! He says, are you guys gonna stop or what? They go, you said something? He says, I did. And I said stop. Are you deaf? You do not want to smoke. Hinata instantly gets afraid and backs up, and so does Neji. He goes, are you too scared of him? They go, he's the best in the Hyuga clan. Much better than me and Neji. Much better than our father. He says, but he doesn't even look like a Hyuga. He says, he's a hybrid. He goes, and hybrids have more potential than pure-blooded Hyugas. He says, now you might want to get back, or this is gonna get bloody. Kiba says, fang over fang! Christian grabs him by the face, slamming him down, saying, Lucky holding him up in the air in the face, he says, I warned you. Then he breaks his jaw. He goes, as he knocks. Then he says, then he throws him to the left. He says, and he says, lightning style, lightning snake, snake lightning. Absolutely obliterates three of them. An entire squad. He says, then bugs are sent at him. He says, how will your bug fare against my snakes? He puts his hand out, and then 5 snakes come out of it. They go, they're like mini aoras, and they bite down on the insects, eating them all. He goes, that was a very tasty dinner, wasn't it, guys? He says, now are you guys gonna stop or what? Everyone rushes at him and he goes, I'll come a shock and I'm gonna bop, and everyone thinks that I'm so damn cocky. He goes, I'm done with this. He doesn't have QB either. He's just a strong shinobi in general. He's not on anyone's team, actually. He's in a solo team. He's in the high-tier Hyuga team. I'm gonna make up my last character. Izuna. We have Izuna. He's on a team with Izuna and Hanabi, the strongest Hyugas that are up to date. I want to say Hanabi's the same age as Hinata. He's just like, Then they all jump. Then Kiba and Sasuke rush at him with their strongest attacks, going, and then Kiba goes for a quick fang over fang, and Sasuke goes for a full power strike. Then when they do this, Christian goes, okay, not yet. So they go for the punches. Then he trained himself for the limit, and he didn't do that without a reason. He not to Neji right away, since they don't want trouble with the Hyuga clan again, because they're gonna get in trouble by their father if they attack him. They all go for a punch. Then he catches Kiba and Sasuke's punch going. Then he catches them going. As he throws them to the left. Then he creates a Rasengan going. Then he one-shots 5 more of them with Rasengan. Then he appears above them with another Rasengan going. As he defeats them all. Or them on the ground. Then he goes. Oi oi. Ma! Izumi. Then he teleports. Then Izumi brings him saying, let's go. He says, what happened here? He says. Then he picks up Naruto saying, let's bring him to the Hyuga clan grounds. He puts Naruto on his back and just brings him to the hospital. He says, hi. She says, oh, Master Christian, you're here. He says, you don't have to call me Master Christian just because I'm a Hyuga. Just because I'm a hybrid. He says, no, you deserve that respect. He says, well, we needed to heal him, and don't you dare say he's a demon. She says, okay, we'll heal him. They go and heal him, but then he hears screams. He teleports in and says, so, this is what you're doing, cutting his insides open and taking them out. She says, he signed an organ donor. He says, no, he didn't. He's been here for 2 seconds. And he's unconscious. You're literally taking his organs for no reason. She says, well, look, he's a demon. He doesn't deserve to live. He caused the 4th Hokage to die. He says, you're really going to say that my uncle died because of him? Really? If he died because of him, then I would have hated Naruto my entire life. But look at me, I don't. Want to know that reason? Because Naruto just had it sealed inside of him when he was born. His father and mother put that burden on it. His mother and father put that on him because they trusted he'd be able to wield the power, not for him just to be called a freak all day. He says, so you can back off. He doesn't do anything wrong. And he only does pranks and stuff to get attention. He's beaten up by villagers every day for no exact reason. He goes, you really think that's okay? Then he walks out and sees the Konoha 12 and their senseis and parents saying, where is that kid? Well, actually, no. After that, when Naruto wakes up, he brings him to the Hyuga house. He brings him back to his house and puts extra security there. Which means, like, if someone touches his door, like, someone touches any part of his door, they'll get electrocuted. And there's also traps all around his house that only Naruto knows. And they'll scan it. If it's not Naruto, Christian, Izuna, or Hanabi, they instantly get trapped and destroyed. Then Naruto won't have to worry about anything. Then when he gets to the Hyuga household, Hiyashi yells, Christian, get out here now! He says, what do you need? Then he says, explain to me why you beat up these parents' kids. He goes, oh god, this? Fuck, man, I hate them all. He goes, did they do something to make you mad or harm you? He says, they did do something to make me mad. He says, what did they do? He says, their kids broke into Naruto's house and beat the shit out of him for no exact reason. Sakura's mom and dad yell, he's a demon, that's why! He says, the only demons here are you guys. Then she starts to fake cry, saying, you guys are monsters, this is why you're hated. Then he looks all around the room going, huh? Where is it? He says, Fugaku says, did you lose a contact or something? Then Sakura's dad says, did you lose something? He says, are you trying to find something? He says, yeah, I am trying to find something. He says, what are you trying to find? He says, I'm trying to find where I give a fuck what you just said. Your wife is literally fake crying that your daughter got beaten up because she beat up a demon, which he's not a demon. Like, what proves that he's a demon? He has the nine-tailed fox inside of him? Did he choose to have it? No. If he chose to have it, Naruto would have already destroyed the village. Also, we're lucky that Naruto doesn't just turn on all of us right now. and puts the lets the Nine Tails take control. Naruto's too kind-hearted for that. That's why I already did something around his house that none of you will know. And Fugaku, don't even try the Mangekyo Sharingan on me, cause I'll make sure you meet people you don't want to see. Boo, you ain't looking at this. Sakura's dad and mom say, "Why, you little brat?" Then they say, "Tell us what you did right now to his house." He goes, as he's on the roof now, they go, "What the?" They look up and he goes, then he puts a kunai to both their throats going, then he appears right in front of them going, "Ma, don't do it. Oi, oi, Ma, don't do it. Oi, 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 Ma, don't do it." He says, "You might not want to do it." And he says, "You all can leave now. There's no point in breaking into our house, because the Hyuga clan has most of the power in the Leaf. We can instantly get you all sent to jail for entering and breaking. And just like how the Konoha 11 also can as well, they can also be in jail. It doesn't matter if they're minors or not. They can't just go break into someone's house and beat them up just because they exist." He goes, "Now get the fuck out of our house before I 8 trigram 64 palm your asses out of here." They all leave. Hiyashi puts a hand on his shoulder saying, "You handled that situation well." He says, "I just got mad." He says, "Okay, you did kind of overreact." He says, "It's not my fault. They should stop being mean to Naruto. He didn't do anything wrong. Tomorrow, if I see one little bruise, whoever did it is dead." He goes, "You do you, kid. You do you." Then he says, "Hinata, Neji, in my room, now." They go, "What? What's up?" He says, "Tell me, I have a feeling you guys have a reasoning for beating up Naruto." He says, "We do have a reasoning for it." He says, "If you see a demon, I'm killing you both right now." They say, "No, because we're being forced by them. If we don't do it, they're all just going to attack us and beat us up." He says, "Aren't you the top genin?" He says, "Yes, but Rock Lee is much stronger than me now, and so is Sasuke and Kiba. These new rookies are outsmarting me." He says, "Well, I'm stronger than all of them combined. I can easily take them out. So you're gonna put an earpiece and you're gonna tell them, and you're gonna put it on, and I'm going to listen to your conversations. And if I hear one thing about you guys being threatened, they're dead." He says, "Also, Hinata, I heard you're dating Kiba?" He says, "No, I'm being forced to." He goes, "Break up with him now." She goes, "I don't like him at all." He says, "Then break up with him. If he tries to hit you, me and Neji will step in and clap his cheeks. And he does not want the smoke." But then he gets a shock to the arm. He goes, "Damn it! Looks like they're doing it." Then he says, "What's happening?" He says, "Naruto's house is getting attacked again, but don't worry. They all lost. I placed traps all over his house. And if it's not me, Izuna Hanabi, it's gonna go off." Everyone is caught. And he says, then Christian walks and teleports to the house saying, "So guys, how's the traps?" They go, "Why you?" He says, "Now you're stuck there. Now to put you on a box and punt you outside of the village." He said, "Oh yeah, Choji's not a part of this, neither is Shikamaru." He goes and does this and then he wraps them all in a giant box, and says, "Choji, would you mind assisting me?" He goes, "I don't mind assisting you." He says, "Partial expansion jutsu!" Then picks up the box and drags it outside of the house, then yeets it. Christian says, "Good job, Choji." Then they high five, going boom. He says, "Also, Shikamaru, thanks for doing the shadow position to stop them." He goes, "No prob." He goes, "I don't think Naruto got a scratch today." He says, "Now we have to go reset the traps and make them better, so then Naruto, we won't have to come." He says, "Are you guys being forced to do this?" He says, "We don't even do it. Like, honestly, our clans have more power than them. So we can easily just report to the Hokage's office that we were being forced to do this." He says, "So which people are mostly doing this?" He says, When he's about to say the Uchiha Inuzuka clan, Christian teleports. He goes, "What the?" Christian blocks Kiba's hand, saying, "So you're really gonna hit her for breaking up with you for a forced relationship, huh, Kiba?" Then throws her to the ground. Then throws him to the ground, saying, "You really think you're slick, huh? Using her for money? Our clan is probably the poorest clan," he says. Oh yeah, Christian's using that as cap. The Hyuga clan has an amazing house. He says, "You guys have an amazing house." He goes, "And how would you know that?" "The fact that you only go there just to be in the house." Literally. Dog breath, get the fuck out of here before I murder you myself. Kiba runs away in fear, saying, "Dit." When he's about to say demon, he throws a kunai, stabbing Kiba in the back. He goes, "Ugh." Then he drags Kiba to his house, throwing him on the ground, writing a note saying, "Maybe your son shouldn't be such a d and stop forcing other clans to do what you say." From the Hyuga and Uzumaki hybrid. Then he heads home saying, "That's another problem down." He says, "Now to the Uchiha clan." Christian calls a meeting with every single clan. He's working all this around. Hiyashi calls a meeting with every single clan in the village. And then it's like a 5 Kage summit, but it's like a 20 clan summit. They head to a secret location in the village, and they all have two bodyguards from the clan. It's Izuna and Christian guarding Hiyashi. And it's Itachi and Shisui guarding Fugaku, and all that crap. When it starts, Fugaku says, "Hiyashi, what's this meeting about?" He says, "I'll let him explain." He says, "We're here for the clan solving. I've been hearing some forced clan movements on Naruto for no exact reason." He says, "And I want to get to the mastermind of this, and I'll find out. And when I do, they will be reported to the Hokage office, and their clan will move out of the village so fast, it's going to be faster than when the third Hokage hit the Nine Tails with this giant bat." He says, "So y'all better fess up." He says, "Fugaku." He says, "Itachi, Shisui, do you mind doing the honors?" They go, "Yep." He says, then they all put everyone in the genjutsu besides Christian and Hiyashi and Izuna. Then they all say, all of them except for the Inuzuka clan and the Uchiha clan say that everyone else declares they're innocent, except for the Inuzuka clan and the Uchiha. He says, "Just great." Then Itachi releases the genjutsu saying, "Great job, Inuzuka clan and Uchiha clan. You guys are the imposters. Vote them out." He says, "But who's the real mastermind behind this?" He says, "We're gonna do a state of war place." He says, "Hiyashi, please stand back. I need to sit down for this." He goes, "Right." He gets him another chair and sits down. Christian says, "So, we're gonna move all the things so we have the weakest clans next to the Hokage office. We're gonna have the strongest clans away from him. The strongest clans because they won't need to defend themselves from each other. We need no more clan fighting at all. This is dumb. We're really gonna get ourselves kicked out of the Leaf Village. Soon all the clans are gonna be kicked out." He says, then he gets a shock to the neck. He goes, "Argh." Fugaku says, "Is something wrong?" He says, "Yeah, they're attacking Naruto again." He goes, "But don't worry, I set up harder and more deadly traps." He says, then he pulls up a little holographic screen saying, "Now let's watch the show." And they put it in the middle as they see all of them getting caught by traps, still trying to hit Naruto. He goes, "Oh yeah, Hinata Hyuga is successfully broken up with Kiba." Kiba's mom yells, Why did you do that? That H-O-E. He says, Christian puts a kunai to her throat, saying, "Don't call her that. She was in a forced relationship with him. She only did that because of our money. Freaking diamond digger out here. Screw gold diggers. Diamond diggers out here are what boys are when they want money from their girl." He goes, "Your son's a freaking diamond digger. Wanted more from the girl than the girl wants from the guy." He says, "Naruhina fits so much better than Kiba Hinata. Like, what the fuck?" He says, "Now let's watch them all get trapped." He goes, "Oh yeah, Shikaku. Shikaku, Shukaku, no, Shikaku, he says, Shikaku, Choza, I'm very happy for you. I'm very glad your two sons aren't attacking Naruto. They enjoy to help him out by Shikamaru by shadow possessing and me putting them on a box, and Choji throws them out of the village. He says, Mr. Inoichi, your daughter has gotten into this activity because of her crush with Sasuke. If her madly in love with Sasuke, and Sakura as well. These two could be a potential threat to the entire village for their love. If Sasuke left the village, they would too. If Sasuke killed them, then her parents would go all crazy and want to kill Sasuke. And if they want to kill Sasuke, the Uchiha clan's going to step in. And then if the Uchiha clan step in, the Hokage's going to step in. And the Hokage's best clan that they trust the most, the Hyuga clan, will step in. We're going to have a whole war out here. If these two keep on liking Sasuke, they're just going to start this entire thing. He says, but we have one target. He says, we have one target that will end this entire thing. He puts his finger on it and points to the foundation saying, Danzo Shimura, he's our target. He goes, does anyone wonder why Shisui can't activate his Sharingan anymore? He says, Danzo has stolen his Sharingan from him. So, what we must do is, all clans must send their best shinobi at Danzo. Assassinate him. Danzo must be assassinated, but watch out. He can recreate his death and make it different. So, if you kill him and he just disappears, make sure to throw shuriken behind you. Instantly. He says, our next target of choice is... If Ino and Sakura do not do something about their crush, we're going to have to end them both. Inoichi says, please, not my daughter, he says. Well, we have to find someone else for her to like that's not Sasuke. Because knowing Sasuke, he'll probably go rogue if Naruto gets stronger than him. Sasuke's the jealous type. If Naruto gets any bit ahead of him, he wants to kill Naruto, as seen by this clip. He shows a clip of Sasuke keep on stabbing Naruto, then beating him up, then stabbing him every single time he comes back. And Hinata secretly hugging him every single time. He says, now, as you see by that, Fugaku and Itachi get pissed. They say, that stupid brat! He beat up that kid for no reason, he says. Also... Actually, hold on, let me go get Light Yagami's psycho laugh quickly. He says... If you got... Hold on. He says, call in your children now. Then he calls them in. They all the rookie 12, the rookie 11. I think it's like the rookie 9, I guess. Since Shikamaru and Choji aren't there. Neither is Naruto. So he says, alright you guys, I'd like to... Then she says, what were we called here, you stupid idiot? He goes, yeah, you're such a loser. He goes... Then he goes... Dang it! I'm trying to get this! He goes... He goes, you guys have been, and everyone in every clan is scared to after that laugh. Shut the fuck up, Light Yagami. I'm trying to do something here. He goes, there's also worse. Then he goes, Then they say, then Kiba says, if you keep on saying that, we'll kill you. He says, stop acting like you're still stronger than me.
Go ahead and try something if you'd like. I'm just itching to kill you.
He says, now, I've called you all here to tell you something important. They say, what is it? He says, you're all being kicked out of the village. He says, what? You can't make those decisions? He says, I can, and I have proof why you should be. He says, what is it? He says, Naruto Uzumaki. He presses a button, and then shows a clip of the Nine-Tails attack and Minato and Kushina survive. He says, look at this. He says, who is that? Then he shows the clip of Kushina naming the baby. He says, watch this. Then he shows the clip, and she says, Naruto. He says, who's that in the blonde hair? Minato Namikaze. And who's Minato Namikaze? They all say, the fourth Hokage. Then they put their hands in their mouths going, oh my god, we've been beating up the fourth Hokage's son this entire time. He goes, exactly. So, I will be reporting this to the Hokage, and your entire clans who have been encouraging your children to beat up Naruto and force in relationships will be kicked out of the village. I'll be going. Toodaloo. Then he laughs going, ha 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 ha! Kiba yells, we have to stop him or all of us are going to be kicked out of the village. He says, Inoichi smiles, saying, no, only the Inuzuka clan will be. They started this. Isn't that right, Mrs. Inuzuka? She just, shut up, Inoichi. Christian said, then he sees that they have a giant fight, but then they're all wrapped by something, by some chains. He says, I never left the room. I'm a clone. And he says, that was a clone that left. I just wanted to see how you guys would fare, and now that I know that the Inuzuka clan is bad, I'm leaving for real. Then he body flickers to the Hokage office and says, Lord Hokage, I have a report. Oh yeah, the third Hokage never knew that Naruto was being beat up by the villagers. He says, I've come to make a complaint about the Inuzuka clan. He goes, what is it this time? He says, I haven't complained about. He says, like, what is it? Like, what is your problem? He says, my problem is that all the Genin 9 have been beating up Naruto for no exact reason. And they've been beating up, and they didn't realize, but they were beating up the fourth Hokage's son. He says, that's right, he is Minato's son. And they cannot be doing this. I never was. He says, Naruto's been beaten for days and on days. I'm like fucking L out here, solving detective mysteries. Wanna know what the most annoying thing is? I just realized what they should have done in Death Note. Why the didn't? Why? Why didn't L go take the Death Note, write Yagami's name in it, and if he dies, then they wait a month later, and if all the deaths go away, then boom, it's artist Yagami. Like, how dumb were they? They should have asked to see his notebook, because they should have asked to see his notebook. They shouldn't have an all FBI force looking at his notebook. And if they see names of criminals, they instantly arrest Yagami. Like, honestly, like, how dumb could you guys be? Yagami was pretty dumb. Someone should have planned like a fake assassination on Yagami. Then, when he writes their name in the Death Note, they wouldn't actually die. He says, but what if it's like an animatronic human who pretends they're a random person? But then the robot doesn't die. Like, how dumb are people in this universe? God. Like, there's so many strategies you could have thought of in Death Note to